So this YouTuber called SodorProductions is complaining about the fandom and the way Thomas and Friends is going. And I understand his feelings about All Engines Go and the merchandise. Yeah, merchandise has gone downhill, and it's very sad that Thomas and Friends has dipped in quality and all of that good stuff, and the political stuff and all that, all of that. And I understand he wants to go back to the classic days of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, and I can relate. Unfortunately, that's not really a realistic way of looking at things, because progress and change are natural things, unfortunately, and there's not really much we can do about them. The model series, yeah, it got very expensive to do, and that's why they had to change to CGI. And Entertainment buying Thomas and Friends out, that did mess things up. And yes, Thomas the Tank Engine became a geography program before it became All Engines Go, and I used to be one of those haters that hated on All Engines Go because of the mentality. Everyone hated on it, right? I mean, you could say that fans are sheeple because they just go with whatever Thomas and Friends does, but at the same time, you can also think that way because if other people hate one thing, then it should be cool for you to hate it too. No. No, 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 no. That's not how I roll. If I have an opinion that differs from a lot of people, I'm gonna say that. And I know that he's probably gonna come at me and come at some sort of personal thing, like my hair's all messed up and everything, and I'm in a car right now. He'll probably throw that at me. And here's the thing. Fans are allowed to do what they wish with their material. If they want to write a story about a trans Thomas the Tank Engine character, a trans engine, I remember this one video on YouTube where an engine named John didn't really feel like a John. They felt more like a Jane. And so that's how Edward agrees to call this engine. And that's totally fine. I had no issue with that story. I thought it was an interesting way to talk about the trans community. And I know he does not want to include politics in Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. And yes, politics do tend to ruin things in certain aspects. When the official material tries to force things down your throat, that's when it can become a problem. But fans doing it and telling their own stories from their points of view, that is something that they should be free to do. That is a freedom of expression and a freedom of art. I encourage creativity. I encourage all of that good stuff. So if fans want to tell their stories, they can tell their stories however they like. They have every right to do so. And I may not tell the same stories, and I don't know things from a LGBTQ plus perspective, but you know what? That's fine. I mean, if the people that do, they're better at telling stories like that. And it would be helpful if there was an original Talking Trains series that covered that kind of stuff. I can understand, like, throwing that in something that already exists, that could be frustrating for some. And something new that does cover that stuff would be good. The musical Starlight Express, for example, is much more progressive than Thomas the Tank Engine was. And for 40 years, they've changed the story, they've changed the characters, they've done all this stuff. Nowadays, we've got a lesbian greaseball and a non-binary Electra, and you know what? That's fine. Not exactly what I grew up with, but you know what? That's fine. They can do whatever they want. Andrew Lloyd Webber actually took part in the 40th anniversary show. And he was okay with the changes, I'm guessing. If I was doing the musical, I wouldn't do that. At least, not completely. Like, I can understand putting some of that in there because Electra, the electric engine, does stem from an LGBTQ plus origin. So, Starlight Express talking about that kind of stuff and having trains and relationships, that's something you can do it with. And hammering that in Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, I get where he's coming from. He doesn't like seeing the rainbows and all that on the All Engines Go models, and you know what? That's his opinion. He has a right to have his opinion. You know what? That's fine. That does not mean that people have to agree with him. And if they don't agree with him, that's fine. He just needs to accept that people aren't always going to agree with him. And yeah, he loves Thomas and the Magic Railroad, and I do too. I think that the Shining Time Station stuff, while it does overtake from Thomas a little bit, I felt it was natural to have that as part of the story. If it was going to be a Thomas the Tank Engine movie, because that's what I grew up with as a kid, Shining Time Station. And if I was making a Thomas film, I would have elements of Shining Time Station in there as well. And the engines and characters having mental disabilities, or not mental disabilities, but neurodiversity is the proper term. When you think differently from other people, when you have autism or ADHD or anything like that. And Bruno having all of that in All Engines Go, I thought it was a cute way to symbolize the community in a non-stereotypical way. I mean, the headphones made out of smoke was an interesting choice. But I like the character. He's not a stereotype. So I have no opinion on All Engines Go, honestly. I never actually saw it. I did briefly buy the Lionel battery-powered set, but I chose to donate it because I was in the Christmas spirit. So I was like, you know what? I don't need this. I can donate it, and I can get another one later for myself if I want to. And that's what I did. I know it sounds like a ramble what I'm doing here, and you know what? That's fine. And before you say, isn't he going to crash? Look outside. I'm sitting outside of McDonald's right now, and I'm in the parking lot and have been for the whole time, so that's why I am doing this now. Basically, this guy has put out a few videos talking crap about the fandom and the new Thomas and Friends thing, and I can agree with some viewpoints, but not everything. From what I see, what I think is, if they want to continue to do All Engines Go, which I personally don't really care for, but it's whatever. They're going to have it. I think that they should have something for the older fans as well as the younger fans, because Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends used to be for everybody, and the die-cast toy trains appealed to older kids as well, I think. When I was a kid, my older cousins were playing with my trains as well. They were checking them out and everything. It was just fun. Yeah. So, and I still have my Ertl toys and everything. I still have all that stuff. I haven't really done anything to it. I know it sounds like I'm rambling, and I get that. I just SodorProductions has gotten on my nerves with all his negativity, and I can respect a fan's opinion. He has his opinions, but I have mine. And I think that, Thomas and Friends shouldn't have gone in the geographical direction, and Nia and Rebecca weren't really great choices, but fans that love them have the right to love them. And you know what? That's totally fine. I can respect that opinion. Just don't call me stupid or something all because I have a different opinion. It's really immature. I'm 31 years old, and I have no opinion on Nia or Rebecca. In fact, orange is my favorite color, so I bought Nia. I have some All Engines Go toys, and you know what? I don't play with them, but they're nice little collection pieces, and from a certain era of Thomas. And like I said, I may get that Lionel set again, if I so choose, but only time will tell. With that said, I hope everyone has a great day, and to SodorProductions, lay off the negativity, dude. Just stop it. You're only pissing people off. And I noticed you use iMovie on your videos. I used to use it too, because I noticed that some of your clips are zooming a lot. If you want to keep doing that, that's fine. But if you get a better video software that allows you to just have pictures there, or if you collect more clips and try to put them in your videos, that would definitely be helpful. I just noticed that the zooming in and out, I used to have videos that did that a lot, and it got a little distracting. So, just pointing that out as well. Take care, everyone.